Hey love, I'm Gena, a fitness, nutrition, and self-love coach, helping high-achieving women heal their relationship with food and their bodies so they can finally feel free, strong, and confident in their own skin. If you've ever felt stuck in the cycle of restriction, binging, and body shame, trust me, you are not alone. On this podcast, we're calling out diet culture BS, building your dream body without the obsession, and getting real about what it actually means to love yourself in a world that constantly tells you not to. I've been there. Anorexia, binge eating, body hate, you name it, I've lived it. And now I help women just like you find food freedom, feel sexy in their skin, and take their damn power back. So get ready, because the Fit Without Obsession podcast starts now. Let me ask you something. Have you ever been in a season where you're technically doing everything right? Maybe you're eating well and working out consistently, hitting your steps, all of the things, but somehow you feel worse? Like you're doing all the healthy things, but your body feels heavy, your mind feels tired, and the gym feels like another obligation instead of the safe place that it used to be. Maybe you tell yourself, I'm just being disciplined. I don't want to lose my progress. This is what commitment looks like. But deep down, you're exhausted. You're forcing motivation that used to come naturally. You're showing up out of guilt instead of desire. And you've started to wonder quietly, is something wrong with me? Why does this feel so hard? There is nothing wrong with you. I want you to know that. What you're feeling is fitness burnout. That moment when the discipline that once empowered you starts actually turning against you. And not many people talk about this. So today we're really going to, and we're going to dive into this, because burnout doesn't mean that you're weak. It really just means that your body is trying to speak louder than your perfectionism. So I want you to understand that there's a subtle line between discipline and obsession. And most women don't realize that they've crossed it until they're already deep inside the burnout hole. I crossed it without even noticing during my own experience. Years ago, when I was in one of my most dialed in seasons, I truly thought I was thriving. At the time, I was tracking every macro. I never missed a workout. I would do fasted cardio. I would eat the same meals every single day with my meal prep. And from the outside, it looked like I was doing all the right things. People praised me for, really being on my health kick. I would hear, you're so dedicated. I wish I had your discipline. You're so good. And that praise can become addictive. It really starts to become an identity. And it's important, though, because what no one could see underneath that was that I was anxious on rest days. I was terrified to be spontaneous. I was constantly sore and underfueled and mentally just fried all of the time. And again, on the outside, maybe it looked like discipline, but inside, what I was feeling was fear. Fear of losing progress, fear of losing control, fear of losing the version of me that people respected. And that's how burnout works. It creeps in while you're being quote unquote good. It really shows up and masquerades as dedication, and it hides behind the compliments that you might be hearing. But here's the truth that I wish I had learned sooner, is that discipline rooted in fear is just obsession. Real discipline, true discipline, comes from self-respect. Obsession comes from self-doubt. So that's a really important line and that shift that we want to approach and look at when you start to feel like you're getting into this burnout state. So let's talk about how burnout actually shows up, because it's not always obvious on the outside. So the first thing is that rest feels like failure. So if taking a rest day feels wrong, or if missing a workout triggers guilt, or maybe, you have this constant kind of feeling that you need to make up for it with things that you ate by actually doing extra cardio the next day. That's not discipline. That's really the fear of slowing down. Sign number 2 is you've lost the joy in the movement, right? Workouts that used to actually feel energizing, now are starting to feel heavy. You might be in the gym, but mentally you feel checked out. You're following a plan, but you're not really feeling any purpose behind it. And joy is the first thing that burnout steals. So that's a really big indicator there. Sign number 3 is your results have stalled, even though you are continuously pushing harder. You're trying to progressively overload. You're trying to do all the things. And this is honestly a mindfuck, because you're doing more, eating less, being stricter, and somehow your body is still refusing to respond. And it's like, what the heck is happening? And it's not that you're lacking effort here. It's really that you have a dysregulated nervous system right now. And it's saying to you, like, I don't feel safe anymore. Sign number 4 is your world revolves around your routine. This can look like panicking if your plans change. You might feel thrown off if your workout time shifts a little bit during the day. You also might be declining spontaneous invitations because like you're afraid of it messing up your day. That's actually not structure. That's captivity designed as consistency. Burnout doesn't show up as weakness. It shows up as resentment and rigidity and exhaustion. So let's go into the psychology behind burnout. And here's the thing that no one tells you. Fitness burnout isn't a physical issue. It's an emotional one. It's really what happens when your worth is tied to your workouts, when your identity is the disciplined one, when achieving feels and becomes safer than resting. I had a client once tell me that she didn't know how to exist without having a goal. And that hit really deeply because so many women feel that way. If you've built your entire confidence around being consistent, then slowing down is going to feel like this self-abandonment. But slowing down is not giving up. It's actually teaming up with your body. Burnout is not sabotage. It's your body trying to save you. So actually, when you hit that point, we don't want to fight our body. We don't want to get more pissed at it. We need to actually take that as a sign like, hey, we need to slow down and listen. So now we figured out that you're burnout, right? And you're like, okay, well, now what? So I want to actually dive into how to recover from this without losing your progress or yourself in the process. Because again, a lot of your identity right now is tied to being the disciplined one. So the first step is going to be actually to redefine discipline, that actual thing that we're striving for. Because discipline is not about pushing harder. It's actually about honoring your actual capacity. I'm going to let that land really quick. So it doesn't mean always doing more. I think we always think that that's the definition of discipline, but really it's about finding that connection with your body and what it needs. Like some days that means you're going to go all in. That means you're going to hit PRs. You're going to max out, and that's totally fine. And then other days that means you're going to scale back. Some days that means that resting fully 100% is completely normal and okay and great for where you are in that moment. All 3 of those count. So step 2 to start recovering from this burnout is bring back curiosity. Go ahead and try some new movement that's not tied to progress. Like maybe that's dancing or hiking or yoga. Maybe it's Pilates or stretching. And really try to reconnect to that part of you that moved because it felt good, not because it like counted or because you wanted to burn X amount of calories. Because when you first got into movement, it did feel good, right? So we want to really bring that back into the forefront. Step number 3 is we need to start rebuilding trust through intentional rest. I'm going to say it again. I've said it before, but rest is not the enemy. It's the intervention that you need right now. I want you to schedule one true rest day a week where the goal is not recovering from overworking, but like recovering from over-identifying with discipline. And then you're going to go through that process and you're actually going to see like how your performance changes when you start honoring your body instead of fighting it. You're probably going to actually show up better in the gym. You're going to show up better in your workouts. You're going to feel better. Now, step number 4 is reconnect to your why. You did not fall in love with fitness to punish yourself. I know that. I 100% know that. You fell in love with it because it made you feel strong and powerful and alive. And the burnout that you're feeling right now is just a sign that you drifted away from that why. But you do have permission to come back to it. And I want you to return to that. Rest is not regression. It's renovation to the state that you're feeling. So if you're listening to this and you're thinking, oh my God, like this is me, I want you to hear this. There's nothing wrong with you. You're not losing discipline. You're losing the version of discipline that was rooted in fear. And that's what we want to shed. And that's a good thing because on the other side of burnout is a version of you who is strong and present and actually enjoying her life again. If you want help building that version of yourself, the one who's strong and balanced, disciplined and at peace, I want you to come find me on Instagram at @thefitbean_. You can DM me balance and I'll send you something that's going to really help you start reconnecting to your body without losing your goals. You can love your body and your life at the same time. I promise. I'm rooting for you every single step of the way. Thank you so much for tuning into the Fit Without Obsession podcast. If this episode helped you heal, grow, or just feel a little less alone, go ahead and hit the follow button so that you never miss a moment of this journey. And if you loved it, share it on your stories and tag me at @thefitbean_. I seriously love seeing what resonates. Sharing this podcast helps more women step out of a session and into their power. And that ripple effect starts with you. And if you're ready for deeper support, check the show notes for ways that we can work together. Just remember, eat the pasta, wear the shorts, and love the hell out of your life. You deserve it always. Talk soon.